Hello again, for those who visit. Getting on to our six now. Right, what I want to talk about now is, right, I'll give it a title, From 16 to 60. I'll say it again, From 16 to 60. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm talking about the mobilization of the Ukrainian population, which has been happening slowly since February, on this nonsense Putin is doing. Yeah, and we can only estimate how many active been trained up since March, active servicemen, armed forces servicemen. If any way you know, I became 60 last January, and that is traditionally where anyone with a military background retires. That's when you start getting your armed forces pensions if you haven't had it directly after being so long in it, that sort of thing. 60 years of age. So Ukraine, I'm not saying just men, women as well. Women, because Eastern Europe are traditionally monogender with the armed forces for forever, really, basically. Yeah, you know, well, we could say about Russia then, in the Second World War. The Russians had ladies as frontline tanks, aircraft. Yeah, the most famous of which we know these days is the Night Witches, flying their PO something or others in the middle of the night, just biplanes they were, with a couple of bombs, taking off and bombing the Nazis, German Nazis. Well, I don't like to use the word German. I prefer the words Nazis, as Winston Churchill said. Yeah, so anyway, what the point I'm making, from 16 to 60, they've been recruited, and we can only guess how many. It's got to be over 10 million. So I don't think Russia will have it ever. I don't think they're going to have a chance. Well, but Putin won't do it. Surely he won't be that mad, will he? Start taking out his toys, his best toys, aka nuclear weapons. I don't think he'd be allowed to do that. One of his close staff will shoot him before he thinks of ordering that sort of nonsense. Because he won't be killing just Ukrainians. Ironically, he'll be killing his own people in the long run, and as well as people in the rest of Europe and eventually further afield. Because I know all about bloody nuclear bombs. Fucking awful things. Awful things. It all depends on which way the wind is blowing. These elongated circles, 100% affects 80%. Whichever way the wind goes. And if it's going towards Europe, well, fucking hell. There'll be cancers for decades. Yeah, as it was since 1945 when man started playing with these toys. Yeah, so I'll call this From 60 to 60 Ukraine. And then I'll put a flag. Yeah, well, they're bloody Ukrainians are. They're gonna absolutely get rid of any Russian influence and not fun and games and nonsense from their 1991 agreed border. And that includes Crimea. Yeah. And I was watching this video just now and said, the winter's coming, and in that part of the world it does get bloody cold, man. Well, used to be. Well, with climate change, it won't be so long. But as the Soviets did with the Nazis in 44, 45. Their main attack was done during winter, 44, 45. So hopefully Norway will supply Ukraine with whiteout gear, white camouflage, because Norway's got a ton of stuff. And start making them know for them. Send it to them. Norway can afford it. Because Norway's got a border with Russia, right at the top. Right up the top. So the Arctic Circle. It's not that far. It's not that big. I have no idea how wide it is. About 50 miles, is it? No, 30 miles maybe. Yeah. Joe Blogs is up. China facing economic collapse. Oh dear God. Never stops, does it? Right then, I'll make this 7 minutes. 10 minutes of luck. 7th son of the 7th son of the 7th son of the 7th son. Supposed to be lucky. Joseph and Mary, you only had one son. I went, oh man, might as well make it 6.5, 6 minutes 30. Ta-da, have a good Wednesday.